Welcome back to the channel. In this video, let's look at how the sellers have taken control of the crypto markets over the last 4 days and why it looks like the bulls may just win out in the end. So without further ado, grab that little phone of yours, smash it up, in the likes, subscribes, and the bell notification icons, as some people aren't seeing these videos in their newsfeed. Make sure you do that and hit the bell notification icon and all. That really does help out the channel, and of course your own news feeds if you want to stay up to date with the tracking of the market that we've been doing here for many months now. So we've been following this pattern specifically on Bitcoin, and the breakout occurred as expected. And now we come back and look like we are attempting to sit and test the old resistance levels. You know, this is like a classic pattern that happens across all markets. What we're talking about specifically is this level at around 21,700. This has been on the charts for over a month now. This was that first bounce out. This is the 21,700 level, this horizontal yellow line that's coming across the chart. And you can see the sellers have taken control here since the 20th of July. You're getting a down day, another day up, just to fake out to the upside of the bulls and then back down again. But you can see how slow and methodical this move to the downside has been. Now for the upside from this move that happened from the 13th, where everyone got really excited, that was 7 days. Now from the upside to where we currently are, we're at 4 days. So we're nearly at 50% out of the time, basically 50% of the time now. You know, 7 to 8 days up, approximately getting towards that 4 days, because we still have 11 hours to go until the day closes. So we're getting close towards that 50% in time as well. We always look at 50% in terms of price, and we're looking at 50% in terms of time. Now, if this happens to play out over the next 24, 48 hours, we continue to form a base here, anywhere above that sort of 21,700, then I dare say that I think at least in this case, Bitcoin will have another attempt to the upside. It has some levels to overcome. You can see these closes that have come here on, you can see it clearer on the candles at this chart, on this chart here. So 23,400, that's going to be one of the levels. And then of course the peaks at 24,300, and then our significant 50% level at 24,600. So the bulls have a further job to do, but at least they're in control now. They have broken the resistance. The bears took control in the short terms, probably like the shortest term that we can see here. Obviously the market has come back a little bit from those peaks, and now we're waiting to see whether the bulls will take control again and pushes towards the next key resistance levels, that being 24.6. But of course there are some more minor levels to overcome, obviously the closes and some highs of those daily bars, but this is going to be the key level up here. Now you would have seen that I had this tool on the chart just before, so that's the trend-based fib extension. This is what I'm applying to the major swing here. I would call this day here a little bit of a fake out to the upside, because we then got further downside, and we could see that happen in real time as well, where we were looking this in those previous videos. So wherever this low forms, that's where I'll put this point C of the tool. That's A, that's B, this is C. This is something that I'll use to trade with to give me some projections of upside profit targets. Now, what I like with this tool, what I like to see in the price areas, some areas coming together as clusters, are the 50% levels. So should the market fall back to about 22, which it basically has, if this happens to be the low here, that's 21,940. This 50% level of this range lines up very well with the other 50% level, almost to the dollar. So if that holds, great. If it's a little bit lower, it's getting, you can see that they're quite close. The point being here is that we end up with a price cluster at 24,600. So that's going to be an even more significant number for Bitcoin to overcome. That's why I've got here as this being the test. So this is a support zone. I think if it goes anything below here and starts to close below 21.7, then we're probably in for some more chop and grind at these lower levels, and the bears will take control. The bulls will have to just wait a little bit longer, and then it will just go backwards and forwards for a little bit. Should those lows get taken out at 19K or 18.6, it's over for the bulls for that time being. We're looking to the upside. We hold above these levels and start to work our way towards that 50%. This is going to be significant, and if the market, if Bitcoin can break that 24.6 and get some closes above, then I think we're probably going to run towards that 100% of this range. Now, this is a dynamic tool. It will change every day based on the price. So yeah, we could run to about that 27,400-ish level. So there are some pretty sizable gains to be had if, and there's always the big if Bitcoin can get through this target right here, that $24,600, 50%, and could be a smaller 50% as well. That is the key level to be broken next, and I'll be looking at this all week, especially for trades and especially for cryptocurrency trades for the likes of Matic. And Matic has been one of those cryptos that just hasn't given up. So looking for some more key levels here on Matic, all we have to do with this diagonal is move it to a horizontal, and you can see where this might drop back to. It's always mights, ifs, thens, probabilities, and possibilities, because it's trading. We don't have the answers. There are no definite answers to the left of this chart. This is the left-hand side. Look at that. If I had the answers, it'd already be filled in, but it's in black, meaning there's no data yet. So we have to look at how probable is it that Matic will hold up above the old highs and start to form a similar sort of base above the old high, so the support and resistance flip. That's where the flip comes from. Is it probable that Matic is going to do that? At this stage, yes, because it is holding up above that level. And then if that is the case, away we go to the upside, because the bulls have held support, the bears have gotten weak, so basically the sellers have dried up, and then that's where everyone flips and says, this isn't going down any further, we're about to go up. So everyone tries to jump on board as quick as possible. That's when you say, well, the probabilities are now in the bulls' favor. Let's find our key entry signals to get in on the momentum move, and that's how we trade to make profits, right? It's not a guessing game, it's a probabilities game, and that's how we continue to trade and invest small-term timeframes and, of course, longer-term timeframes. So if the same thing happens here with Matic, what we then look at is our ranges, low to high. Maybe this is the low, maybe the low comes back to the old highs around that sort of 75-cent level, and then look to the upside. So there's still possibly going to be some resistance at around the dollar level, and then we look towards the 100%. Can that move repeat up to about $1.16, $1.22, somewhere around that level? And so there's still going to be some reasonable gains to be had for Matic. The other thing I really like about the look of Matic, although we've seen this support and resistance line, you can see the market held up to try to break through that resistance, and it actually did. This is what we're looking at here, around 75 cents, which is the previous tops. Look what happens when we move our 50% tool to the entire range at the moment. It comes out at about 65 cents, which was just above the previous high. And then across to the left, you can see we had a few tops up at these levels around that 65-cent level, just before it broke down. So 65, 75, somewhere of a retracement into that level before we move up again is a possibility. And that is for the bullish case, meaning like the market could drop into these zones and then start to work its way higher back to that dollar area. So anywhere, I think, from where it's currently loaded about 80 cents down to about 65 cents is still a good bullish sign for Matic to at least attempt the upside again. Now I put emphasis on those words because it's not just a matter of the market going straight up and hitting $1.40 or $2. We first need to attempt the previous resistance levels, that being this current top that happened a few days ago, and then of course the 50% level at $1.03. So it needs to attempt that level before we can then move on and take out those highs and continue up with at least this short-term bull market that basically started around that low of the 18th of June. And then of course the Bitcoin was around the, again, 18th of June. So over the next few days, the key level is going to be 21,700 for Bitcoin to hold up, bullish support zone. The bullish test, about 24,600. See how the market reacts to that point to hopefully continue on with the long trades. And now I've posted this up on Twitter as well. So I've got the links, Twitter, Instagram, down in the video description. Use those links in the video description as there are tons of fake accounts. Now the other things I'm putting up on Twitter are market sentiment, looking at the bearish news that has come out for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and then seeing what the hell has actually happened in the charts, what the smart money is doing. Remember this, just a few days ago, even a few days before that, actually the 9th of July, could you believe, 2 weeks ago, the fear of Mt. Gox releasing 150,000 Bitcoin Price was unaffected. 2 weeks later, or 12 days later, the market's still going up, still bullishness for Bitcoin. At the 20th here, we're still at the highs. That should have dumped the market if everyone was so fearful about news coming, right? That it's already priced in now. We know that that news is out there, and maybe they will drop the 150,000 in one hit, but everyone knows about that already. So even if we get a downwards move, it's probably not going to be anything significant like what we've seen from 69 to 17. I don't think you're going to see another extreme dump in a percentage term like that, but it will feel absolutely crap. And we've got a little bit of a way to go before we can actually see where this market is going to top out at before we come back down. That's my read of the market sentiment for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now. We've obviously seen the prices go up, and people are now trying to connect dots that weren't there before all together, saying, well, of course it's going to be bullish right now because of X, Y, Z going on. But we've seen all this bearish news just a few weeks ago trying to push the price down. The news is always late, and the market sentiment will always try and confuse us. If you are trading these markets, make sure you have a plan, that you have backtested, and that you use stops. I'll be doing a video coming up this week about a backtested plan, something that we look at on the chart very regularly, which is our Gann swing indicator. So make sure you subscribe and like the video so you can stay up to date for that. And of course, Bybit down there if you are trading these markets, use stop losses. This, you can get up to $4,000 of sign-up bonuses, and with BitGet, which is open to US users, you can get up to $8,000 of sign-up bonuses. So you can use those funds to trade, and essentially it's like some free cash in your accounts. Guys, thanks again for joining me on the update. I'll see you really soon. Until then, peace out.